Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 14 of Pursuing Your Personal Pentecost. In chapter 14, we find Paul and Barnabas preaching boldly once again for the Lord in the Jewish synagogues at Iconium. And God is backing up their words with signs and wonders. And then it says that not everybody was receiving the word. They were divided, so to speak. And there was an attempt made by the Gentiles and Jews to stone Paul and Barnabas. But somehow or another, I don't know if it was the Holy Spirit, it doesn't say, but they learned of their attempt and were able to escape without being stoned. Then they flee to Lystra and continued to preach the gospel there. And I love how death threats don't slow these guys down one bit. I mean, it's like, oh, you want to kill me? Okay, whatever. I'm going to preach the gospel. I love the boldness that Paul has and the fire that he brings with it. So they go into Lystra and they find a man who's been lame from his birth. And as Paul's preaching this, he's looking at this man, and he can tell this man is engaged. And I've been there, I've been preaching at churches, and you can just see there's some people that, man, they are just locked on. They are receiving what you're preaching, what you're saying, what God's sharing through you. And so I know the kind of person he's talking about. And so, seeing that the man was lame and that he was probably laying on a mat more than likely, Paul just shouts out to him. He says, "Stand upright on your feet and walk." And this man jumps up and begins walking just like that. There wasn't any laying hands, no big long prayer. It's just the faith of Paul. He says, "Stand on your feet and walk." And he knew this man was at a point with his faith to receive it. So the crowds seeing this happen, they all know this guy, and so they start idolizing Paul and Barnabas, and they want to start making idols, to commemorate them. And Paul corrects them, saying, whoa, stop right there. We're just men. We're men just like you, But then the Jews from Antioch and Iconium that he had just got done escaping, they catch up to him there and had a whole group of haters that they'd gotten all riled up, and they stoned Paul. I'm not sure what happens to Barnabas, how he didn't get stoned as well. Maybe he had, went to the restroom or something, I don't know. But they stone Paul, and then they think he's dead, so they drag him out of the town, leave him for dead. Then it says his disciples gather around him. They come out to where he is and gather around him, and it says he gets up and walks back in to the city. And once again, you find the boldness. I mean, if I get stoned almost to death in one place, chances are I probably wouldn't have the boldness to get up and walk right back into that same city. But that was Paul. And what I love about Paul is how he was all in going against Christians. He was all out to persecute the church and the believers and the people walking in the way. But once he got saved, he kept that same mentality, except now he was all in. It didn't matter that way. He's like, to live is for Christ, to die is gain. And I think that's a strong message that we need to get a hold of when reading the book of Acts, is that we need to be that kind of sold out believer that does not care what anyone else thinks or what anyone else is going to do to us. They can only kill our body. They can't take our soul. So I hope this blessed y'all, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for day 15.